So, I got a scoop for you. It's kind of funny. It was a judge in Colorado by the name of Natalie Chase. And well, she just recently had to do a little resigning. Well, because it came out that she's, well, insensitive to say the least. And well, that shit crazy if you know the rest of the story. You know, I just wonder, all the cases that Miss Chase has presided over, how many people like she tossed aside, didn't give a fuck about because, well, she didn't know anything about them. You see, judges are very important. And well, everybody talks about the legal system and institutional racism. But well, judges, well, they get a pass. People talk about the police all the time, crooked prosecutors. No, but they never talk about the judges. And a lot of judges, well, they're boneheads. They're dumb. And well, some of them are racist. Now, not to disparage the whole profession of judges, most judges are actually pretty nice people. And well, they actually do a good job of judging. That's how they became judges. But you know, there's no central vetting process for judges. In certain places, you can be elected a judge. In other places, you can be appointed a judge. So it's a whole mishmash, and it's pretty complicated and messy. But anyway, back to the story. So this judge, well, she's definitely clueless, and she had to resign because of her cluelessness. You know, when you're in a car with a person of color, it's probably best not to use the N word and try to figure out why can't you use it because you're not a person of color. That's why you can't use it. And well, you don't keep repeating the word over and over again. You know, like, well, like you're clueless, which she did in the car. It was ridiculous. She asked about ER and A on the end of the word and whether it makes a difference. I mean, couldn't you just Google that? Couldn't you go on to Urban Dictionary, figure those questions out? These are precedent matters that you have to have a conversation with another colleague of yours about. See, clueless, bonehead. Don't be a bonehead. Don't be clueless. Think 3 times before you speak. Then when you speak, it becomes more relevant. And well, she did implement the Socratic method, which is to ask questions. And nowadays, you can ask Siri that. You can ask Alexa that. You can Google it. You don't actually have to ask a person, especially a person of color, and you know nothing about them. And then, well, it was that infamous time where she called another one of her colleagues an effing bee. You know, very disparaging against her own gender. And well, lastly, it was that time where she had to have a conversation with another colleague, and they were trying to explain to her what Black Lives Matter is, because apparently she's one of the only clueless people in the United States that doesn't know. Or maybe there's a lot of people. You know, some people keep their head under a rock, and then they lift their head up from the rock and say something really dumb, and we're like, that's why your head was under the rock. And well, she didn't know what it was, and she professed that, well, all lives matter, which, you better be a vegan, Natalie. You better be a vegan. You know, I'm happy she resigned. It didn't seem like judge was the right career profession. There's many other professions. I think what this really exemplifies, though, is law school should be better. Law school should be a better place where you vet people. You make sure, well, they don't come out uneducated like Natalie. Because somewhere along the way, when she was in law school, it didn't relay to her anything. Or, I got a better solution. She was probably the only one in law school, wherever she went, that didn't catch it. Everybody catched it, you know. But, well, she was probably running late, and then, well, the door was closed, and she didn't catch it. That's what it is. Natalie didn't catch it. A case of the D's. You know, I'm glad she's resigning. Now she can become a baker. You know, that's what law school students do when they drop out. They usually open up a baking facility. You know, if she opened up a baking facility, I think she'd be pretty good at it. She can bake cakes and become like socially aware. You can do research on the recipes and research on like what's happening in 400 years of the country. You know, you got time on your hands. When you're baking, you got plenty of time on your hands.